Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a live today is Wednesday, 10 p.m. People might almost getting ready to sleep. I'm a day off today. I'm a little bit um yeah, I was a bit tired so for some reason I woke up early in the morning and I did some tai chi and a coffee as usual. And I went to the gym and after back home and cooked something and oh my god, I just slept. Uh, so I've been trying to make more shorts. It's kind of fun to share the more philosophy background, psychology background, what I'm studying at the moment. Mm, Actually, I want to go talk about inferiority today. I'm just trying to look at the book from The Courage to Be Disliked. Where is the page? Life's not competition. Yeah, maybe this one's. Yeah. So like last time I mentioned about the I'm pessimistic video. Actually, I went to the little bit higher view to compare with the other video. I think a lot of people have interest in it, and I noticed like something like kind of trauma, pessimistic, like kind of negative point of view of the stuff. I think it's good to share how to shift the point of view. Maybe I will go this one. It's page 72 today. Page 72. How you guys doing today? I feel like Las Vegas getting super warm now. Now it's the come on like 4th of February. It's the 3rd of February in Japan. Yes, 3rd of February in Japan is we call Setsubun. It's the kind of holiday. It's I think it's influenced by the old calendar, like a Chinese Lunar New Year thing. But also we celebrate. We don't. I didn't. My family didn't do a lot like what it's called. In Japan, normally Setsubu, we eat some specific sushi. It's called ehomaki or something. My family doesn't have that kind of tradition, but most of the people it's called ehomaki, like a sushi rolls every year, like a fushui, what is called in Chinese. Like always, the every year the different direction, north, west, east, south, like some certain direction gotta be giving you a good luck. So it's called ehomaki in Japanese. It's like a big sushi roll. You can buy it and the whole family and then look at the okay, like for example, I don't know this year. Maybe this year good fushui, good direction is the north. Okay, look at that. Look to the north. At the dinner and then eat the sushi roll. I think that's the culture, and also setsubun means normally. I'm not sure about the setsubun. The word mean that's normally what we do is normally my dad like I play like a demon, demon slayers. Demon is a big thing in Japan, Japanese culture, right? So we just get away the demons from the house, and then the bad luck is gone and good luck's coming. So what we do is roast soybean, roast soybean, and just through to the demon. Normally, like teachers, or like maybe your dad will play like put some like a face mask, like a demon face mask, just pretty like a kid's one, like a pretty one, like a cute one. It's not like scary like a horror film one. No, it's not. It's not full on. Maybe some people might full on, but the demon, it's called oni. So the demon from the outside, and oni wa soto. Oni wa soto means demon will be should be outside, and then when you throw the beans to the demon, it's called fuku wa uchi. Fuku means good luck, wealth. It's come uchi means inside of the house. So anything the bad lucks get away from the house, and a good luck, please welcome. That's kind of ritual in Japan. We do normally like even the February of 3rd we call Setsubun. I'm not sure how much you're doing now in Japan. But maybe most of the school for the kids, I guess, they still doing. But I'm not sure the historical background, but I am pretty sure because this is very close to Lunar New Year. So I think that it's influenced by it's influenced by the Chinese or Lunar New Year's and came to Japan. I don't know, could be 1,000 years ago, and they read translate. I mean, translate, read, understand into the more like suit for the Japanese culture, and then we made our Japanese version of it. We made a Japanese version of it, and then we keep doing. So that's the one who we keep doing on in February in a Japanese culture. Yeah. So that was actually pretty cool thing that when you see at the in every February, yeah, that's actually that's pretty cool. Yeah. So today I'm start thinking doing the go to the book of the courage to be disliked. Life is not a competition. This part I might when I read it. So in this book, that Larian psychology has actually a lot of sections. Is actually talking and mention about a lot of people feel the inferiority, right? But the how you shift this inferiority to look at it. So like all about the competition. So it's actually I fascinated about this because as an actor, sometimes maybe I don't success. I'm not a success actor. I don't know what's the definition of success is. Of course, is everyone's different. I can be one of the success story, but I'm not famous. Nobody knows me in the film industry. I'm just one of the like indie filmmaker actor. But I'm from Japan. I left Japan and I went to Australia. Now I live in the US. And then now after 10 years, 2016, I left my hometown, home country, and I moved to Sydney. And now we moved to Vegas in 2021. And we release our own film we produced and we direct. I'm playing, my wife's playing it, and a release in the whole United States can be, yeah, part of the success story. But at the same time, all the time, you always see other success actors, someone who's success in Hollywood, either Japanese or other Asian actors, and it could be the same age, similar age, could be you might feel a little bit, just a tiny bit of inferiority. You might feel it, I might feel it. But always start thinking after reading this book, okay, am I competing with them? Am I same talent? Do I have do I compete with them in the same field? So if I question about myself like this type of question, or do I have to succeed in in Hollywood, for example, in a system, or do I have to be seen in a big project? Yeah, I want to work in a big project, but is that can be a same field or not? Yeah, maybe happen in the future, but for example, what if me and for example I'm feel someone inferiority, someone succeeded, okay, my age, my look, my height, my view, my skill set, maybe similar, graduate my same high school, same university, same college. One had success in the finance world, for example, and I didn't succeed in the finance compared with him. Do I feel the inferiority? And then deep down inside, always looking for if I don't feel happy, for example, or something, okay, if you're not happy because you see the other guy succeeded in the finance world, And then, do you really competing with him in the same field or not? This is kind of a tricky question because if you want to compete with someone, you feel the inferiority. Someone succeeded, someone are jealous, okay? Or why, for example, Maria, okay? Some I don't say who, but like for example, if someone feels jealous on her, or she succeeded in an Australian big TV show, or succeeded in some article about action film, people might feel a bit jealous of her. Okay, someone who jealous on her, do they actually seeing her or not? That's the point. So what I realized after I was reading this book is that my understanding is see who I'm competing with them is actually you mirror yourself to someone. You mirror yourself to someone who succeeded in the industry, like on the public scale. It's not your own scale. The people might have to have your own scale to what's the good quality or what's in terms of success, what kind of success you're looking for. And that's why I feel really interesting. Um, if you succeeded, if you compete with someone who succeeded, but actually it's not, that's actually the big difference. So you actually not watching them, but actually you see them, your version of someone succeeded. So it's more about self-esteem. You are not actually competing with anyone. So that's the big difference. So I want to try to go back to read this one. So the section part is life is not a competition. Then maybe just skip, and then maybe keep going through this part. It's enough to just keep moving in a forward direction without competing with anyone. And of course, there is no need to compare oneself with others. And the youth says, no, that's impossible. We'll always compare ourselves to other people, no matter what. That's exactly where our feeling of inferiority comes from, isn't it? And a philosopher says, a healthy feeling of inferiority is not something that comes from comparing now oneself to others. It comes from one's comparison with one's ideal self. This is my favorite line. Yeah. A healthy feeling of inferiority. A healthy feeling of inferiority is not something that comes from comparing oneself to others. It comes from one's comparison with one's ideal self. So here's the thing, if you feel inferiority, someone succeeded, that's actually not you. It's actually not them. So you are mirroring yourself, the ideal version of yourself, and then to grow your self-esteem and compare with success your ideal beauty version of you, and compare with that fantasy is actually your current version is different, so you feel inferiority. And a philosopher says, look, all of us are different: gender, age, knowledge, experience, appearance. No two of us are exactly the same. Let's acknowledge in a positive manner the fact that other people are different from us, and that We are not the same, but we are equal. I like these lines. I want to maybe read again. Look, all of us are different. Gender, age, knowledge, experience, appearance. No two of us are exactly the same. Let's acknowledge in a positive manner the fact that the other people are different from us and that we are not the same, but we are equal. We are not the same, but we're equal? Yeah. And the philosopher said, that's right. Everyone is different. Don't mix up the difference with good and bad, and superior and inferior. Whatever differences we may have, we are all equal. I like it. Maybe I'll read again. This is such a beautiful line, though. Such a beautiful line. That's right. Everyone is different. Don't mix up that difference with good and bad, and superior and inferior. Whatever differences we may have, we are all equal. No destruction of rank for people. So youth always against philosopher in this book. So youth actually basically he's talking to his master. No distinction of rank for people. Idealistically speaking, I support so. But aren't we trying to have an honest discussion about reality? Now, would you really say, for instance, that an adult and a child who is still struggling with his alchemic are equal? So what he's trying to say is, sir, so you're talking about fantasy. Yeah, every humans are different and then must be equal, but it's like it's fantasy. In a real life it's different, maybe. And the philosopher says, in terms of the amount of knowledge and experience, and then the amount of responsibility that can be taken, there are bound to be differences. The child might not be able to tie his shoes properly, or figure out complicated mathematical equations, or be able to take the same degree of responsibility as an adult when problems arise. However, such things shouldn't have anything to do with human values. My answer is the same. Human beings are all equal, but not the same. So philosopher never changes. So he never changes his point. And the youth says, then are you saying that child should be treated like a full-grown adult? What do you think about this question? So this is actually a very interesting part. So even if the human must be equal, means you have to see the child equal as an adult at the same time. Really? Then the philosopher said, well, he denied at the beginning. No. Instead of treating the child like an adult or like a child, we must treat him or her like a human being. Yeah. So I just came up in Japanese word means 人として扱え. 人として扱え means treat as a human. Yeah. Sorry, in Japanese. I always translate in Japanese in my head. No. Instead of treating the child like an adult or like a child, one must treat him or her like a human being. One interacts with the child with sincerity as another human being, just like oneself. I think this is very, what it's called, very respectful way to appreciate the life of the human. Any kids, any human, or could be a good guy or bad guy. As a human, you have to respect. Yeah, at any point. Well, I mean, the criminal cannot respect that. Yes, but still, in a little bit more bigger picture, how precious the life it is? Yes. And then now back to youth. Let's change the question. If all people are equal, they are on the same level playing field, but actually there's a disparity here, isn't there? Those who move forward are the superior, and those who press them from behind are inferior. Correct. Someone succeeded, someone didn't succeed. So we end up at the problem of superior and inferior, don't we? So we end up at the problem of superior and inferior, don't we? And a philosopher said, no, we do not. It does not matter if one is trying to walk in front of others or walk behind them. It is as if we are moving through a flat space that has no vertical axis. No vertical axis. No vertical axis is interesting. I'll read again. No, we do not. It does not matter if one is trying to walk in front of others or walk behind them. It is as if we are moving through a flat space that has no vertical axis, or like kind of very one dimensional. One dimensional, right? Could be two dimension or could be third dimension. It's more layered. So maybe one is forward in some certain numbers, like I said, finance, that how famous. But all the other axes can be different. Oh, that's the one who see it's a one-dimensional. It's actually good learning about filmmaking too. When you're filmmaking the character development, for example, we always say whenever we watch a film, something honestly, some films are very boring to watch, and then once break it down why we were so boring to watch this film, and it's something like a antagonist or protagonist, I don't know, either way, like it's very one-dimensional. We use always one-dimensional, the words, but one-dimensional means it's a good guy or bad guy. It's a good guy, but he do this and that. He's a bad guy, but he's a this and that. So I think the breakdown is actually, the learning about psychology is so interesting because it also helps me to understand the filmmaking, the character, and as a human being. So if you think about the one character, this character is one dimensional. Some films of one character is one dimensional. And when you watch a thriller or horror film, actually I'm getting like more thriller now. I didn't like a thriller before. My cousin, my wife's sister, she's a scriptwriter for our film, and she always loves horror and thriller. I don't like horror and thriller. I just don't like anything scary, because even a horror film, I don't want to watch. But just good learning. I try to watch, but sometimes actually thriller is interesting to watch because all the characters so layered. Because in a thriller, we cannot say psychological thriller, especially. One character cannot be one dimensional, can be two dimensional or three dimensional, four dimension, can be good, looks like a good guy, but become a bad guy at the end, or because of some certain point, some beast and some incident happened, he changed his mind and his actually weakness coming through, his past coming through, and it's more interesting, they're all layered. And that's the reality of the human being. Anyhow, so back to the book for this section. So back to the youth question. So we end up at the problem of superior and inferior, don't we? And the philosopher says, no, we do not. It does not matter if one is trying to walk in front of others or walk behind them. It is as if we are moving through a flat space that have no vertical axis. We do not walk in order to compare with someone. Sorry, we do not walk in order to compete with someone. So compete with someone is not the end of the answer. Not the conclusion. It is in trying to progress past who one is now that there is value. It is in trying to progress past who one is now that there is value. And the youth says, have you become free from old forms of competition? Just ask yourself, and I actually asking myself, have you become free from all forms of competition? Yes or no? It's a very tough question. And a philosopher says, of course, I do not think about gaining status or honor, and I live my life as an outsider philosopher without any connection whatsoever to worldly competition. Does that mean you dropped out of competition? That you somehow accepted defeat? And he says, no, I withdraw from places that are preoccupied with winning and losing. When one is trying to be oneself, competition will inevitably get in the way. It's all about how you shift your point of view. And the youth said he's upset. No way. That's a tired out old man's argument. He's very he's very it's actually very interesting this reading this like a novel. Like this character is so emotional, this guy, but he's a very sensitive guy. So anyhow, back to youth. No way. That's a tired out old man's argument. Young folks like me have to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps and amid the tension of competition. It's because I don't have a rival running alongside me that I cannot outdo myself. What's wrong with thinking of interpersonal relationships as competitive? So why he brings us up this keyword of interpersonal relationships? Because in this book, Adlerian psychology says interpersonal relationships is the all the problems come from when you feel unhappy. So what he says, if you solve the old interpersonal relationships, it is actually you can be happy. So he said, how simple is that? If you change your mind today, you can be happy just now, from today, just now. But he used this keep against it. Oh, that's impossible. That's why he brought this idea again. So I don't have a rival running alongside me that I can't outdo myself. What's wrong with thinking of interpersonal relationships as competitive? And the philosopher said, if that rival was someone you could call a comrade, this is another keyword, comrade. I'm not super familiar with this English comrade. It's like a friend or someone who like a family, you know. It's possible that it will lead to self-improvement, but in many cases, a competitor will not be your comrade. Meaning what exactly? And go to the next chapter. Before to close, maybe just say the next chapter title. This is so interesting chapter title as well. The title is You Are the Only One Worrying About Your Appearance. It's interesting, huh? Okay, so let's summarize this section. Life is not a competition. So the philosopher, so he says in the beginning, all the humans are equal, even kids, adult, any gender, any age, any race, any background, they're all equal and it's all valuable. That's said in the beginning. And then the second thing is if you change your mind, you can actually withdraw from your competition because that actually, I think you can be happy. But not only that, like for example, when you do acting, okay, let's make a film. Let's make a film. It's competition still. Yeah, submit for the film festival, it's competition. But the ultimate goal is that really matter, win or lose? Game, yes, that's fun. Game is fun. Sports, win, lose, yes, that's fun. But if you always looking at the win or lose, it's you might missing something. And my teacher, when I was back in college, in my science lab, he always said in Japanese, he said, "Kacha ii no ka, kacha ii no kayo." He's been always saying that. So that means kacha means you win, right? Win. So he always said, is that win is everything or not? He's always said that. So win or lose. So you win. So that's it. Is that everything? And it's not. Because actually he has a kendo background. The kendo is, of course, competition, win or lose. That even if you lose, even if you win, for example, that's why I like I really appreciate to my parents, they give me opportunity to learn Japanese sword fighting kendo. That is competition. But however, each time when you finish your fight, okay, one win and one lose, of course, you have to both stand and then hold the sword back and then bow. You have to. And if you do this way, and if you win, right, and you win, if you do this, it's actually illegal. It's actually erased and bleach your winnings title. It's gone in 1 second. That's the rule of kendo. Because win, lose, both life value. The win, lose, because all the kendo, the process is both growing, both learning. That's why after you finish, you have to bow and then be quiet. You cannot like, yeah, let's go, bro, kind of thing. If you do that one, yes, in America it's more expressive. It's fine. It's culture thing. But in Japan, when it's come to kendo, it's a part of the ritual. So you are not allowed to express your happiness or emotion, anything, whatever, because that's disrespect to the other fighter. So what we do is even if you win, you lose, respect, bow, keep quiet. And even the if you know the Japanese chess, then both win or lose. Yes, one win, one lose. It's not like fight, fight, fight. Just mairimashita. I lost. Thank you for this learning. Thank you for this opportunity. So always bow and respect. That kind of culture is very interesting. I think it's still very unique in Japanese culture, I guess. What do you think? Well, I also learned a Chinese martial arts kung fu. And then the first day, what you have to learn is actually bow. The Japanese style like this, then bow, right? And the Chinese style is this. It's the kung fu because I did a kung fu wushu. So it's the make a fist in the right hand, right fist. It's an attack, right? But this is block, right? Block and a fist and a block, which means wushu. So which means respect. This is about respect for the master, respect for the all the other students as well. So martial arts always not only about be a beefcake and strong, showing off your skill. No, it's actually about more about the mind, philosophy. I think I want to do more that type of thing. It's actually the live stream. I like live streams. It's more for brainstorming for myself. If if I open a martial arts school, oh, I know some basic of wushu. I'm not the extreme martial artist, but I know the basic of tai chi. I know the basics of kendo. I grew up in the basic of sword fighting, basic of samurai fighting. If open the school, I think I want to more share. I don't want to teach. If I open a school, I want to share more about mindfulness side, more like a Zen side of the philosophy side of all these martial arts, what I've been learning. Because what I've seen in most of the Instagrams or all the social medias, they just keep showing off all the fight, 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 non-stop, right? And that's never ends. And then they look at the world, like the world's crazy, the war is happening, America is going crazy. I mean, the government, they're going crazy. I don't talk about politics in this place, but is everything going crazy in all the violence and fighting and the power, power, power? And then it's all about what it's come back to this. It's a competition, right? Because it's a fight, it's always winner or someone lose, right? But the Adlerian psychologist book says what it says. Life is not a competition. So that's another goal. The process is more important. What is the process? It's a growing process. The growing as a human being, and the growing your mindset to be happy, and the growing, your heart, your mind, your energy to more respectful, and then make this world more better life for the whole human being in different races or different culture, different background people. Well, I feel like come on, 2026, man. I feel like the world's getting a little bit slightly behind. Because when I was in Japan, when I was a kid, I think the world is a little bit more happier, I guess. Maybe financially now it's more be more decline, inflation, and all the things happen. Recession happened in 2008, war, all the natural disasters, and the COVID pandemic. So many things, especially pandemic hit America. I think it looks like getting totally everything changed. However, I believe I believe that there's still some way to become. The world needs to be a little bit more slowed down, and the world needs to be a little bit more understanding of the deep inside of a mind. It's yeah. Maybe I want to do some teaching. That's why I like to do this live stream. This is the only place, the opportunity to I can talk to myself about what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling about the world. Um, So that's why I thank you for watching, and then thank you for subscribe my videos. So that's why I'm trying to make more videos. Something, yeah, I do show my workout stuff, but like that's all my sharing, myself grow. That's my ultimate goal. It's not like showing off. Yeah, I think I have to shift it. It's not about showing off myself because I'm not competition. And why am I still making film? Why? Because it's fun first, and the second I want to do acting, of course. But also through the film, we want to give the voice. We want to give the message to the world. So because a film, it's yes, it's entertainment, it's action. We make a thriller, action, comedy. Yes, the next one is comedy. But through the film, either competition, win or lose, or on a film festivals, or financially success from this film, yes or no? Yes, we want to sell this film, of course we have to. This is part of our job. But either way, even if we lose, okay, life is not a competition. It doesn't matter. What's the matter is even one audience watches our film and feels something get excited, or something feels more belong to the human, or something feels more safe, or something they get back to themselves after watch this film. I think that's the most important part of making film. I might want to open the martial arts school actually. And then, yeah, today is actually interesting because I'm reading this book, The Life is Not a Competition, and it bring up my childhood memory, not childhood, but my memory of my master, what my master says. And then, because I grew up in Japan and grew up in Kendo, sword fighting, and a sword fighting all about learning and mastery of human being. So that's the first line. If you open a textbook of Kendo, it doesn't say anything about how to grab your sword. No, how to draw your sword, how to kill people, how to attack or whatever. They don't say anything in the first page. What the first page is, the Kendo is all about the self-development about the human being, the learning about human. That's the first word. So that's why I have to respect. So I'm happy to share that type of philosophy in a Western world, in English or in this language. There's something combined in between the Japanese mindfulness philosophy with Western culture. I'm pretty sure there's some way to express in a way. So for me, this YouTube channel is more about, yes, express myself, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. And also, this is part of my study. I read this and then, talk about this philosophy or psychology or Japanese cultural background is also part of me learning and how what kind of information I could more and more could be shared. And my dream is, if possible, this YouTube channel grow in the future and more audience start sharing, the building a community, more stronger community. They think of the positive. It's like my classroom. I used to be a teacher in Japan at the high school, middle school, and I was teaching science, but not only the science, I always encourage them to, how make people happy and how to make life happy, how to cope with the parents, how to cope with all the assessments. There's a different ways I can help, I could help them. But at the end of the day, my reward, what I got reward is I see the last day of the class, um, I see them or happy smiley face. I think that's I could do at least in that year. And they even like almost like 10, 15 years ago, maybe they might all like 25 years, 26, 27 years old now. But they might, even they forget the time with me, that's okay. It doesn't matter. But their emotion, their experience still burn in their heart. So I think that's I want to do. Yeah. So I feel like this is my purpose. I think I have to keep making this YouTube contents now because I feel like words get crazy. What's going on? I watch the YouTube, all the news articles, and then every day. Oh my, come on, 2026, so many sad news and bad news popping up. Come on, it's a 2026. The human should be a little bit more learned better. That's what I think. Anyhow, wow, I talk about 40 minutes. Thank you for watching. Someone keep watching the whole night, maybe longer than like a 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Normally people that come and go, that's okay because I always leave my archive. But anyhow, thank you for watching. If you like it, please subscribe and then follow the other videos, okay? Thank you so much. Bye.